So right away, I meet Jmart. Nothing about him makes me think that I am going to like him in any way. Super gooey, always was smiling. I was like, God, I cannot handle this.
Gooey.
Trash bag body. Trash bag body.
So we're in
You ever
practice.
seen like a full trash bag that's like got shit pointing everywhere? Yeah. That's how
10
you
pounds of
those
shit in a
guys.
5-pound bag. Yeah. So we get to practice, and I'm like, whatever. A couple weeks in, finally, I'm like, I can't take this anymore. So I go over to him and I start talking to him, and I'm like, hey, you got to tell me what happened. Like, I got to know, because at this time, like a couple games in, people are really giving it to us. I mean, like, there's having fun on the field, and there's you're a motherfucker for what you did to Richie. And unfortunately, I'm standing next to him, so I'm getting caught in the crossfire a lot. And I have a lot of people getting mad at me too. Like people physically yelling at me from the other order. You motherfucker! You standing with him? No, I am not.
Well, what are you supposed to do?
I physically have to play next to him. Like, you're gonna get it too, motherfucker. Like looking at him like, dude, what did you do? So we ask him one day what happened. He starts telling us some stories. And within 10 seconds, I'm like, dude, you're fucking lying. Like, there is no way that this is physically happening. Number one, anywhere in the NFL, right? Like, what he told us is not happening. But he is, like, doubling down on it. He's like, man, you don't understand. You just don't understand the environment. I'm like, I'm in the same environment, only I get shit from my head coach, not my best friend. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, you just don't understand. It was terrible. It was terrible there. And so, like, for a while, a lot of us were kind of like, I don't know about this guy. Well, then we're going to play Denver. The night before the game, we're at Bar Louie, minding my fucking business with the O-line. And all of a sudden, this lady puts an old-fashioned in front of me, and I'm like, definitely not mine. Like, I don't drink, and it's the night before the game. And so J-Mark goes, oh, my bad, that's mine. And I'm kind of looking at Staley, and he's looking at me like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, dude, you know we're playing tomorrow, right? Yeah. I just got to get one of these. Takes the edge off. You know we're playing, like, tomorrow, right? DeMarcus Ware. Tomorrow. Von Miller. Tomorrow. Yeah. Just one. So I'm kind of like, all right, everyone's looking at me like, if you don't fucking say something, you're an idiot. So I'm like, dude, maybe we should just chill on those Saturday night. Not worth it. 3 more ended up getting drank. And I was like, dude, the fuck are you doing? Seriously, like, now you're pissing me off. I'll be fine. If you ever watched J-Mart on the field, he was never fine. Like, never. And nothing about him ever gave me a thought that if anything went down, he was ever going to protect us. But not only that, but the stories that he was telling us. I mean, I had to call Jake immediately because I knew Jake. And I was like, Jake, I just need you to know this. This is what he's saying about you. I swear to God, Jake Long almost came through the phone. He was like, dude, that is some fucking bullshit. And you know it. I was like, dude, I'm not even going to entertain this idea. I know you would never do that to anybody. I was like, at the same time, I just need you to know what he's saying. And, dude, it was horrible. Number one, it was horrible because everybody was like, Boone, don't talk to him. And I was like, well, I'm playing next to him, so I don't know how not to talk to him. And they're like, you're going to take it too far, and it's going to be the same thing all over again.
Not
and I was like, okay. I'm not going to lie. I did not have a good year that year. I mean, I was not happy. I was not doing. It was like, dude, playing next to him, and I actually have a picture in my basement. And somebody came over. One of the rookies came over. They were looking at it like, is that Jonathan Martin next to you? And I was like, unfortunately, it was. And it was. Dude, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how you can go out and say all these horrible things that people did to you. Like, I'm saying, like, they were bad. They were really bad what they were saying. And then to turn around and be like, nah, I didn't mean that. That's some fucking bullshit, dude. I don't care what anyone says. You come out and make this big claim that everybody's riding my coattails and everyone's making fun of me. It's like, dude, were you not a part of the team? We all got made fun of like that. Like, we all got crushed. And then this dude, like, throws a big fucking hissy fit, gets half the team cut, and then comes to us and, like, fucking ruins our team. It was terrible, dude. I hated every second of it. And the minute he told me what they were doing, I was like, you're a fucking liar. There is no way that's happening down there. Number one, you're a grown man. If somebody did that to you, you have the right to kill them. Like, I'm not even kidding you. You could kill them and everybody in that room would be like, yep. That's what happens when you do that. Shit like that happens. And he was like, I know, man. I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I should probably not talk to him anymore. He is going to explode right now. Like, he started getting worked up from it. And I wanted, I wanted to poke so bad. Like, I just wanted to keep going and going and going. And everyone's looking at me like, stop.
So, okay, hold on. Couple other things here. Just from the ESPN article, Jonathan Martin, in addition to saying, I never believed for a second that I was bullied. I never even went to my coaches with any of this stuff, and suddenly it's on ESPN. I never believed for a second I was being bullied. It's a story I've been trying to fix for 10 years. I was not well at the time. I needed some sort of break from football. It didn't need to be this tit for tat on TMZ, right? I should have sat down with the owner and head coach and got it figured out. So he's essentially 10 years later saying, yeah, it was me, I needed to break football.
That's
Incognito saying that it was actually his mom that perpetuated this behind the scenes.
It was his mom and his dad, because when he came to us, they all told me, they were like, dude, his mom and dad are lawyers. One's at, I think his dad was at USC, and his mom was the lawyer for Nissan. And so because at first I was like, what's he going to do? I'm going to fuck his world up if he says anything. And they're like, dude, his mom and dad are both lawyers. That's why this is going as far as it's going. And I was like, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't talk to him. I was like, I should just let this part go.
Hey, here's two other quotes to throw out there, and then we can keep going here. Martin said, I don't have any hard feelings toward anybody in that situation anymore, this is where it gets. He said, because Richie Incognito and Mike Pouncey already peaked. They've already achieved the most success they're going to achieve in their life, and I'm just getting started.
You coward, dude.
He is, dude.
It's just that's such a cop-out. Like, to say, like, hey, I tried to bring these guys down. Like, I tried to chop them off at the knees, and they powered through the adversity, and they made some of themselves, and, like, now I'm trying to follow in their footsteps. No. Like,
seriously.
You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You don't get to say stuff like that and then get away with it and act like this is some confessional between you and the public, and everyone's just going to be like, oh, poor J-Mart. Like, the Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport did him wrong. Like, no, dude. You in the NFL have a platform. And on that platform, you get to control your narrative. No matter what it is, right, wrong, ugly, good, bad, you can control that narrative. And so if you saw immediately that it came out that Richie Incognito was bullying you to the point of being suicidal or whatever it was, you can immediately come out, whoa, that's not happening, right? Go to your little tweeter forums. Back then, Twitter was still Twitter on the little blue die, right?
Nope.
Like, you could go on that. You could take a press conference. You can do so many different things, and you chose to remain silent. I don't forgive and forget. Like, what you did to the OLine community, like, no shot. And the other piece of it, too, is I don't know if you remember, Mackey. You remember Joe Berger?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? Played in the NFL for 13 years.
This is funny.
We love Joe Berger.
If you ever talk about Joe, we'll kill you. Like, we love Joe.
Right?
We do.
Like, when we went up to Michigan for a music festival, and, like, we need a place to crash one night, he's like, just stay at my house, right? Just stayed at his place. Like, unbelievable guy.
Good.
So we asked him in 2015 or 16, I believe, when Boone got here.
It was hilarious.
Like, dude, because Boone was like, dude, I played with J. Martin. He's like, and Joe goes, oh, you want to know something funny? He goes, I actually started you sit down at lunch and we all get up. He goes, and it wasn't to just bully, it was to anyone. And he's like, and you had to fully commit, because if you recall, the thing that J. White said was like, I would sit down at lunch and then all the guys would get up and I'd have to be sitting there by myself. Well, that was a bit that they did. It was a joke. Everyone. Like, yes. It was a joke to everyone. And Joe was like, and you committed to the bit. Like, it wasn't like you set up and went and sat somewhere else. Like, nope. You left. Like, look around at the guys and be like, hey, whenever Richie sits down, whenever Pouncey sits down, whenever Jake Long sits down, whatever, like, all of us pick up our food, we throw it away, and we walk into the locker.
Nobody says anything.
Right? Like, and nobody says a word, and the guy's just sitting there by himself at the table. Like,
how funny would that be, though, if you sat down and everybody got up and left? You'd be like, yeah, fuck you guys, dude.
He's like, I started that. He's like, and it wasn't to bully Jonathan Martin. Like, it was to just be funny. And then Jonathan took it as, like, we were being racist, and we were bullying him. And, like, so he's just such a soft human being. Like, and now you're going into the real world trying to wipe your slate clean. I don't, dude. And you know what? People may buy that and might be like, "Oh, you know, like, hey, listen, people don't forget, man. Like, you don't forget." Now, Richie's making sure people don't forget on Twitter. Richie. Too.